Super exciting day today. I am unboxing a new camera I just got from eBay. I have been a big fan of 5x7 cameras. I've always wanted a 5x7 camera, so I went and bought one. We are going to look at this for the very first time. The case is in a little bit of rough shape. The whole plan is to rebuild this camera. It's supposed to be in a little bit of rough shape. This box is made out of canvas and it's kind of falling apart, so I probably won't use this, but we'll see what it's like. It's a Gunlock Manhattan optical company camera, Criterion View camera. He even sent me a little photograph of how it's supposed to look. It was manufactured in 1909 to at least 1925. It has rear focus via rack and pinion, 2 gears on top, double swing, reversing by removable back, 3-piece lens board. It's a cherry body, was offered in sizes of 5x7, 6.5 by 8.5, and an 8x10. I got the 5x7. Let's take a look at it. Oh, and it comes with 6 original backs. Let's take a look at these first. Oh, wow. These are original 5x7 backs that they came with. They are in really good shape. You can even see it has number 1 here, number 2 there. And now let's get this out. The strap is in a little bit of rough shape, but we can replace that. And that's the camera there. Wow, it looks like it's in really good shape. It hasn't been redone before, for sure. This is all the original wood. The gears on this are in really good shape. The stainless steel needs to be redone. It's a little bit tarnished, but that's okay. We can redo that. See if that works. Yeah, the base screws in really nice and tight. It has all the original pieces on it. All the original knobs are on it. Wow, and the wood is absolutely in perfect condition. This even has a geared rise. Has front shift movements. Has an old woolen sack lens on it. Yeah, the shutter doesn't work. But I have a friend who can fix this up. It's in a Baytex number 3 woolen sack lens. I'm gonna put a brand new Rodenstock 180mm lens in it, a Rodenstock N. So I'm actually gonna put a modern lens in it because I actually wanna use this camera for real. I want to take it out and I want it to be a working camera. It's not just going to be a showpiece, but this thing could be in a museum. The bellows are in really bad shape. Yeah, the bellows are falling apart here completely. But that's okay, I knew that. I'm going to replace it with new bellows. I'm going to get new bellows. And then if you can see the back tilts in either direction, which is lovely. The handle's falling apart, but the back is really nice. And I'm gonna probably put a better ground glass on this. This is probably an old ground glass, although it's in really good shape. But I'm gonna put a better ground glass on it, one that's a lot brighter. So let's just see how the film holder goes back in here. Oh, it's really smooth. It's tight. That'll be light tight for sure. It's a rotating back, of course, by taking it off. Rotating the back. Being able to shoot vertical. Really lovely. So as you can see, there's a bit of work to do on this thing. I'm going to fix the stainless steel and the brass on it, and we'll get that up and running, and I will polish that up and fix it up. And the wood, There's nothing that needs to be fixed on here. I thought I was going to have to take some of the wood apart and sand it and refinish it, but I'm not going to do that because it looks perfect. The guy that I got it from, he told me that his grandfather bought this camera. He's an older guy, got it from the States. His grandfather bought this camera in 1909. Bought it brand new. Don't know what he paid for it. So this camera is what, 111 years old? This is gonna be really just a little bit of work, and I'm gonna be able to get this up and running. I'm gonna send the camera bellows off to England to Camera Bellows. I'm gonna put a new ground glass on it. We're going to, I'm gonna polish up all the stainless steel, all the brass, put a good lens in it, and we're gonna get this thing up and running and out in the field and back working where it should belong. Well, first things first, let's take this bellows off. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking off the front frame that holds the bellows. The bellows maker needs the frame that I can send him, and then he can fit the bellows exactly to the frame, and then I can just screw the frame on. Part of the process is I'm going to start photographing where I get screws from. So the top round screws come from the top and bottom, and then the flathead screws come from the sides of it. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see the envelopes. I'm going to put each screw where it goes and mark it on the envelope. There we go. Wow, this bellows is like charcoal. Just everything just fell apart. So I have a rather bad crack in here that I'm gonna try to fix up and glue. And then kind of clamp it. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to have to build a new strap, a new handle for this for sure. So we're going to take this one off and get a new one built. I assume this means this was camera number 83 made. And if you're gonna do this, safety glasses are a must. I wear a mask because there's a lot of stuff that flies up. So a mask, safety glasses. I'm shooting a photo of a quintessential prairie scene, a prairie outhouse. Not really interested in the photo too much, although it's kind of neat in this flat prairie landscape in this little building standing up. But this is the continuation of building my 5x7 camera, and I need to test to see if the focus works. I did one test already with it and the focus actually was off a little bit. So I put a new ground glass on the back, but what we found was the tolerances were way off. Actually, one side was a little higher than the other, so the focus was skewed a little bit along the film plane. What we had to do is we had to take this ground glass off. We had to build a new piece of wood that goes in here, and then we had to router that out all even. And when I say we, I mean a good friend of mine, Bill Peters, did that for me. He is an optical engineer here in town, and he keeps my old cameras running all the time. He glued in a new holder, wooden holder, and he routered it, and then he actually painted it matte black. The guy's amazing what he can do. And then the tolerances went from 0.025, which he said is not very good, and he made the tolerances to 0.0025, and so the focus now should be right on. And that's all this is doing a focus check with this camera to make sure that it works. I don't know what it is, but I keep coming back to photographs all the time that have been touched by man. You know, the beautiful prairie wheat crop that's ready for harvest is gorgeous, it's flowing, it's wonderful. And I guess it was touched by man too, but I go back to this road, this gravel road that was cut down the middle here, and it was used, you know, obviously made for farmers, made for people commuting, but I go back to these things that have been touched by man and have been used by man and cut. Those are the pictures that kind of fascinate me. Exposure is pretty easy here. All this gravel is gray. You just gotta do a spot meter on the gravel and you're pretty much got your exposure locked in. I'm getting a spot meter reading of 1/8 of a second at f/45, which is what I'm gonna shoot on, except I'm gonna open a spot because I have a yellow filter. So I gotta remember with this, because I started using a yellow filter with this, and so I need to open up a stop all the time. So I'll shoot at 1/4 of a second at f/45. The other thing my friend Bill taught me, my optical engineer friend, is that these holders, these Lisco Regal holders, are not very good. You really have to watch them. He actually wants to check mine out to make sure to see what the tolerances are. He said these are probably the worst holders that you can get for large format photography. The Lisco Regal 2s are good. Those are the good ones. The Fidelities are really good, the Fidelity Elites, the Toyos are great, but these ones you really want to watch and not use. I actually have 3 of these, so I'm going to get them checked out, and he said there's a fix for them, but it's probably best just to avoid them altogether. Oh, I really love this scene. You have this super warm evening light sweeping across. There's this old trail that I found just going through the landscape here. It's really, really nice. For this, I'm gonna expose for the highlights, and I want the shadows to go nice and deep. Well, after the focus checks, you can see the camera now works beautifully. It works perfect. This camera is still, it amazes me how great this thing is and how good a shape this thing is. I can't wait to go out and shoot with it. Everything is as it should be now. Everything works perfectly. I've done my test, and so now the next step is to take it out and actually go shoot some photos. If you like this rebuild, let me know. Please subscribe. I'm gonna be rebuilding a couple other cameras. This was a really big, satisfying project. I've been locked down at home, haven't been able to travel. So rebuilding this, getting it back into the field has been great. I am so excited to use it, and I can't wait to show you some pictures that are gonna come out of it. Hope everybody's safe. Keep well. Cheers.